In the scorching heat of the Arizona desert, where the sun beat down like an unrelenting hammer, Elias Thorne stood at the rusted gate of the old Hawthorne ranch. His calloused hands gripped the chain-link fence, his weathered face etched with lines of hardship that told stories of failed crops, foreclosed dreams, and a family on the brink. At 45, Elias was a poor farmer who'd lost everything to a merciless drought that had turned his once fertile fields into cracked earth. But here, in this forsaken corner of the world, lay a chance, a deserted ranch offered for free by the county to anyone brave or desperate enough to claim it. Elias was both. With his wife Maria and their 2 young children waiting in the battered pickup truck behind him, he pushed open the gate, whispering a prayer that this God-forsaken place might hold the miracle they needed. The ranch was a ghost of its former self. Tumbleweeds danced across the barren yard like mocking spirits, and the main house sagged under the weight of neglect, its windows shattered and doors creaking in the wind. Barns stood empty, their roofs caved in from years of abandonment. Elias's boots kicked up dust as he wandered the property, his heart heavy with doubt. Why had the previous owners left? Rumors in town spoke of bad luck, failed wells, and whispers of tragedy. But Elias had no choice, this was their last hope. Maria joined him, her eyes scanning the horizon. "We can make it work, Eli," she said softly, squeezing his hand. Dave Keats, little Sophia and Miguel, chased each other around the yard, their laughter a fragile spark in the desolation. As the sun dipped lower, Elias spotted the old well at the edge of the property, a stone-ringed pit half buried in sand, its wooden cover splintered and askew. Curiosity tugged at him, in a land starved for water, a well could mean life or death. That night, as the family huddled in the dusty living room with sleeping bags and canned beans for supper, Elias couldn't shake the image of the well. Dreams plagued him, visions of hidden depths and forgotten secrets. The next morning, armed with a flashlight and a rope from the truck, he decided to investigate. "Be careful," Maria warned, her voice laced with worry. Elias nodded, tying the rope around his waist and lowering himself into the darkness. The air grew cool and musty as he descended, the walls slick with moss and echoes amplifying his every breath. About 20 feet down, his feet hit a ledge, not the bottom. Shining the light around, he saw the well was mostly dry, a shallow puddle at the base reflecting his silhouette. But something glinted in the beam, a metal box, wedged into a crevice in the stone wall, rusted but intact. His heart raced as he pried it free, the lid groaning open to reveal, not treasure, but papers. Yellowed letters, faded photographs, and a small leather-bound journal. Climbing back up, Elias sat in the shade of a withered mesquite tree, the box on his lap. The journal belonged to the ranch's last owner, a man named Harlan Whitaker, who'd lived here decades ago. As Elias read, the words painted a picture of a life much like his own, struggles with the land, a loving family, and the crushing weight of poverty. But Harlan had a secret. During the Great Depression, he'd discovered a vein of silver in the hills behind the ranch. Instead of claiming it for himself, he'd hidden the profits in that box, not as greed, but as a legacy of hope. The letters revealed acts of quiet kindness. Harlan had anonymously funded neighbors, medical bills, bought seeds for failing farms, and even paid off debts for strangers in town. "Wealth ain't in the pocket," one entry read, "it's in the hearts we lift." The photographs showed smiling families, community gatherings, and a thriving ranch that had once been a beacon for the weary. But tragedy struck. Harlan's wife died in childbirth, and grief drove him to seal the well, abandoning the place with the box inside as a final act of selflessness, hoping someone worthy would find it. Elias's hands trembled as he reached the last page. Tucked in the back was a map, hand-drawn, leading to the silver vein, still untapped. Harlan had written, "For the one who would use it right." But more startling was a pouch at the bottom of the box, gold coins, antique and valuable, worth a fortune by today's standards. Elias' mind reeled. This could change everything: pay off debts, buy equipment, secure a future for Sofia and Miguel. Yet, as he gazed at the ranch, something stirred within him. The unexpected turn wasn't the wealth, it was the realization that Harlan's life mirrored his own, a reminder that true riches came from giving, not hoarding. That night, around a flickering campfire, Elias shared the discovery with Maria. Her eyes widened at the coins, but as he read from the journal, tears streamed down her face. "He was like you, Eli, kind to a fault," she whispered. They talked late into the night, weighing the temptation of easy escape against the pull of something greater. Days turned into weeks as Elias wrestled with his conscience. It began fixing the ranch bit by bit, patching the roof, clearing debris, planting what little seeds they had. The kids helped, their innocence fueling his resolve. But the desert was unforgiving, a sudden sandstorm buried their first attempts at a garden, and water remained scarce. Elias visited the well often, pondering Harlan's words. One afternoon, while repairing the fence, he heard a distant cry, not wind, but human. Following the sound, he found a group of migrants at the ranch's edge, a family of 5, exhausted and dehydrated, having crossed the border in search of a better life. The father, Ramon, explained in broken English, they'd been robbed, left with nothing, and stumbled upon the ranch thinking it empty. Elias's first instinct was fear, authorities, complications, but then he remembered Harlan's letters, the anonymous helps to strangers. Instead of turning them away, Elias invited them in. Maria prepared what food they had, and the children played together, bridging languages with giggles. Ramon and his wife, Isabella, shared their story, fleeing violence in their homeland, dreaming of opportunity for their kids. As night fell, Elias showed them the journal. This place was built on kindness, he said. The unexpected turn deepened. In helping them, Elias felt a profound shift. He realized the well's gift wasn't just material, it was a call to action. The next day, he led Ramon to the hidden silver vein on the map. Together, they unearthed samples, confirming its value. But Elias proposed a plan, not to mine it selfishly, but to form a cooperative. They'd revive the ranch as a community farm, sharing profits with locals and migrants alike, providing jobs and hope. Word spread quietly in town. Skeptical at first, neighbors came, old-timers who'd known Harlan, young families struggling like Elias. They brought tools, seeds, and stories. The climax built as Elias stood before them one evening, the gold coins in hand. "This ain't mine," he declared, voice steady despite the emotion choking him. "It's ours." Harlan left it for those who'd use it to lift others. In a transformative act of generosity, he auctioned the coins anonymously, using the funds to drill a new well, striking water that turned the desert green. The migrants stayed, their skills in irrigation breathing life into the soil. Crops sprouted, animals returned to the barns, and the ranch blossomed into a haven. But the true change was in Elias. No longer just a poor farmer, he became a pillar of humanity's power. Sofia and Miguel learned lessons of selflessness, watching their father build bridges instead of walls. Ramon's family thrived, their gratitude manifesting in shared labors and cultural exchanges that enriched everyone. One profound realization hit Elias during a harvest festival, as laughter echoed under the stars, he understood that kindness wasn't a sacrifice, it was the seed of abundance. The ranch, once deserted, now pulsed with life, a testament to how one act could ripple outward. Years later, Elias sat by the well, now capped and safe, journaling his own story. The ranch had grown into a cooperative success, employing dozens, feeding the community, and inspiring similar efforts across the state. Maria by his side, they watched their grandchildren play. "We found more than gold in that well," Elias mused. "We found our purpose." The heartwarming message lingered. In a world of hardship, selflessness unlocks miracles, reminding us that the greatest wealth is the hope we give to others. And in that spirit, Elias's life, and those he touched, shone brighter than any desert sun.